Good afternoon, everybody. This is a video, I think I'm going to call it Lessons from the Rescue Ranger. This is my 2000 Ford Ranger. I picked it up in a salvage yard. Came with two junk transmissions, both of which are sitting over there. I bought another one, and it ain't much better. So one lesson right there is transmissions are hard to fix and hard to come by, and they're going to cost me a bunch of money by the time this is done. The second lesson I want to talk about today, though, is why in the world would you take a 3-liter automatic 4-wheel drive Ford Ranger and put a lift kit in it? So the rear of this truck had a 2-inch lift shackle, which I've already removed. And the front, I'm in the process of removing the torsion bar lift that somebody put into it. Now, ordinarily I'm a kind and loving individual, but this time it just irritates me, the fact that they messed up a truck suspension for no purpose. I want you to think about this for a second. What do you gain by putting a 2-inch lift in? Well, it looks so much cooler. It looks so much different. It stands up higher. I feel more masculine. Well, get a full-size truck, a full-size 4-wheel drive if you want to feel tall, okay? Second, you don't actually gain anything. Your suspension is still sitting at the same height because you've got the same height of tires on here. If you wanted to put bigger tires on here, all you're going to do is tear out your transmission or your engine, because this is an underpowered Ford Ranger. So don't be stupid. Don't put a lift kit in your truck. Now, I'm going to show you what I was talking about. I've got a before and after. One side's removed, one side's not. This is the side that still has the lift kit in it. And what I want you to notice, and it's kind of hard to see in the video, I recognize that, but the angle that upper control arm is sitting at right now. And that is because that torsion bar lift is forcing this entire arm down so that your truck sits higher. By doing that, you've extended your shock fully to the top of the shock, and I don't know if it can go any higher or not, but it does take all the usefulness out of that shock because it can go down, but then when it lets your truck back up after the bump, then you're jammed up against that high spot on that shock and it can't ride out the suspension the way a shock is designed. Secondly, the angle on that control arm is in a bind because of the way this thing is lifted. It's pointed down more than it should be. It's got your ball joint in more of an angle and a bind than it should be. And this is something that just tears up your suspension. Even your CV axle is at a sharper angle, which is harder on the bearings. Your steering arm is at a sharper angle, which is hard on your steering. There's nothing good about a torsion bar lift other than it's cheap. So let me show you how it's done. You can see the torsion bar under there. And at the end down there, you can see right there in the center of the picture, the housing where the key goes in. And basically there's a bolt on the bottom of that key that you can adjust the ride height of your vehicle. These are the keys. The top one in the frame is the factory key, and the bottom one is the one for the lift kit. And what they do is they change the angle of the nut, basically, as it goes through there, so it's sharper. And that way when you put your adjustment screw in, it forces that arm down further than the factory design. Okay, so I've removed the one on the other side. Let's go look at the passenger side here. And so you can see right now that there's not much difference. There's not a load on my shocks or anything, but the shock is not bottomed out right now. Some of that load that I was mentioning on the other side is still on this because I do have the sway bar attached, so it's forcing it down some. But some of that upper control arm angle has been reduced. This thing has been relaxed about 1.5 inches by taking out that key already. And once I get both sides done, the torsion bar is not fighting this side, I think it'll ride nicely. I've actually got some suspension now and some shock action on this side where I don't have any shock absorption on the other side, again because it's already sitting at the top of the shock and it can't move. So simple statement here, guys. If you want to be stupid, put a lift in your truck. If you want to be smart, make your truck last longer, take care of your vehicle, get the best miles out of it. And by the way, the best performance, don't put a lift in your truck.